Have you ever looked away for what seemed like a couple of seconds just to turn back around to see your child wreaking havoc? I know for me personally, I've experienced this with all the work I've done with kids over the years, and it can be scary. It can be a very scary thing, and this is why we're going to be talking about this today. We're going to be talking about this because we should always be watching our kids. Regardless of whether we're working with kids or we actually have kids, we should always be watching them. Our eyes should always be on them. I'm going to give you a couple of examples as to why this is so important and a couple of different experiences I've had. So first one, I used to nanny a boy, and after I would pack his lunch, there would be some days where he would go over and he'd swap his snacks, which was usually like something healthy like a granola bar or yogurt or something like that. He'd swap his snacks with like candy and junk food, and I'd be turning around, I'd be doing something, I'd turn back around and he'd be standing by his lunch pail, and I'd be like, "You sneaky sneak, like you are not supposed to be doing that." I'd catch him red-handed, you know? And that's literally a couple of seconds that I was turned around and he's trying to go swap things out. Another one is I used to have a student named Bailey, and Bailey was the cutest thing. She's about a year and a half old, I believe. If her mom's watching this, she can correct me. But there was one point where Bailey, when she started lessons, hated swim lessons. Hated them. Screamed, cried during the whole lessons. And finally one day she really started loving the water, and she really started loving swim lessons, and she gets so excited about it. And so there was one day where I picked her up after the end of her lesson. I put her on the side of the pool. Her parents changed her, everything like that. I was talking to them and everything. And then I go to get her brother, and after she has all of her like dry clothes on, right, she jumps back in the pool. She just didn't want to be out of the pool. At the time, she knew how to roll over and float all by herself, so it turned out to where she just rolled over and floated, and then I picked her up and put her back on the side of the pool, which by that time, when she got back on the side of the pool and her mom was holding her, she was like trying to get back in the water, like she was trying to get away from her mom and get back in the water again. She's so funny. But, you know, it just shows you that literally in a split second, something can happen. And this is why when I'm doing lessons, I always have my eyes on my kids. And I usually only do one-on-one lessons because of this. Sometimes I'll do groups if the kids are water safe and they know all those basic water safety skills and they're starting to learn stroke technique. It is a little bit easier to conduct a lesson with multiple kids when that's the case. But if they're learning their basic water safety skills, it's strictly one-on-one for me. I will not have it any other way. I think that's extremely dangerous to do that, and I just avoid it completely. Some of you out there might be thinking, well, you know, I know my kids. I know them, you know, they can't do anything that I wouldn't know is going to happen. And I know a lot of you out there might not actually be saying this, but sometimes we think it. We inevitably think, oh yeah, we know our child so well, which you do. You know your child very well, but kids are unpredictable. And to say that you're going to know what's going to happen every single second is, you know, that's a really bad spot for you to be at mentally. And I personally believe that, you know, we should always plan for the what ifs. We should always plan for what if this happened, what if that happened, which is why I tell you to watch your kids. Always watch them. Always have your eyes on them. And if it's not you, have it be someone else that you trust, a family member, a friend. You know, someone should be having their eyes on your kids at all times. Preferably, obviously, I would say you, but sometimes that can't happen, so make sure someone's watching them, because you don't want something like that to happen. What if your kid were Bailey and didn't know how to roll over and float on their back and jumped in the pool like that, and you or whoever was watching your kids had their back turned to them? What happens then? And that's why I'm talking about this. Keep your eyes peeled, you guys. Me and my mom always say keep your eyes peeled instead of, hey, look out for this or look out for that person, or, you know, keep an eye out. We always say keep your eyes peeled instead. I know it's really weird. But So I know this is kind of a short video today, you guys, but I want you to walk away with the idea of always watching your kids, keeping your eyes peeled, keeping your eyes on them at all times, because they are unpredictable. Even though we've all been kids once and we know how we would have reacted, we can't always predict what's going to happen. And that's what I want you to be thinking about those what ifs and what could actually happen, and be prepared for those what ifs. Alright, you guys, thanks so much for being here today. If you haven't done so already, follow me on all my social media sites: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all those places, YouTube. Follow me on YouTube, all that kind of stuff. If you haven't done so, links are down below. Also, if you are a new parent or have a young child, I have a link down below where you're going to be able to get a free training video on what you need to know in order to get your kids ready for swim lessons. Like, this stuff your kids need to know in order for them to start swim lessons, and it's going to make their life so much easier. It's going to make your life so much easier, and it's going to help get your kids safer in the water a lot faster than they would have without knowing this information. So that link is down below. Go ahead and click that, put your name and email in, and you'll go ahead and get that free training video right away. Make sure to take notes. And then also, if you like this video, share it. Share it out there with all your friends on Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you want to share it. Share it. I always say, I do these videos for free because I believe this information should be free for everyone. It shouldn't be like, oh, this is only ours to know, or anything like that, or oh, you have to pay for this information, you can't just know it. I think that's really messed up. You should know this information for free. It's gonna help you and your family be safer around the water and safer in general. So share it, like it, comment, anything and everything you can do, go ahead and do it. And I thank you guys so much for being here today, this week. And until next time, swim safe, play hard.